Hello and welcome to Rotted Reviews. Sorry for the tease. I'm not formally resurrecting the channel, but I've still been doing a few movie reviews a month on Patreon as patron requests, which this one was supposed to be. But there were a few things that got me wanting to put this out into a bit more of a public spotlight. The first is to wish you all a very happy Halloween 2024. How fantastic is this? The second is to convey the following message. If you're an American, please vote. I know you're tired of hearing it, so am I. I'm tired, and just like many of you, I can't wait till this whole cycle is over, but it's still critically important. Important enough that I'm hoping by making this video public, I can reach at least one eligible voter that was thinking of sitting this one out and convincing you not to. Apathy and single-issue abstaining is frankly something that we cannot afford. If there's an issue that is critically important to you and you don't feel like any candidate is perfectly addressing it, please don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Vote. All right, on with the review. So this was a Patreon request that was put out by Catherine, who wanted me to watch and review the 2022 film, The Harbinger. Not that one, the other one. Catherine says of this film, it's simplistic and straightforward, and I found it absolutely charming. There's a second part that she wrote, but I'm going to hold that till later because, well, I have reasons. So 2022's The Harbinger, written, directed, and starring Will Klipstein. This is a film that follows a mother, father, and young daughter as they move to a new town, and there's clearly some little secret thing that's happening between them.
I'm doing you a favor.
Trust me, I'm the one doing you the favor.
It's kind of alluded to, but when they move into the neighborhood, everybody is honestly creepily friendly. Friendly and invasive. And there's just a lot going on between the secrets of the family, the secrets of the neighborhood, and all of which kind of follow a mysterious element that gets revealed over time with a lot of lore and integrating in a character from the nearby reservation, lending a Native American vibe to the whole thing. Now, I owe it to Catherine and to everybody watching this my total, complete honesty. And my total complete honesty is I really didn't find this one to be all that charming, but what's surprising to me is I also didn't find it to be terribly straightforward or simplistic. In fact, it was overly complicated in the plot line, where it was constantly getting into different elements of totems, possession, all manner of different types of lore. And while that was interesting, and I could see what it was trying to do with a lot of world building, I think it was kind of the characters that never really drove it home to me in any kind of interesting way. Sorry, Catherine, but that's all right. Not everybody has to agree on things. It's the difference of opinion that makes the stew of life spicy. More than anything, I think this film really had a lot of ambitious elements to it that were admirable, but never really landed on any of them. The writing, the performances, the special effects, and so forth were high ambition. They really tried to go for the moon on this one, and I honestly appreciate that. I would rather somebody have high ambition and not quite meet that bar than to not really try much of anything at all. But this is a movie that I just couldn't help while watching it think that this is where editors can really come in. Not just editors in the post-production room, but also the editors in a script writing capacity, screenwriting capacity, and somebody that's on set to kind of do acting coaching, things like that. Really what it was lacking above anything else was polish. And this was a movie that was kind of so in the weeds and complex with its lore that it made it so that the lack of polish kind of shone through a bit more than it would in a different movie. For instance, if the writing or acting was somewhat subpar for some characters in, say, a Panos Cosmatos movie, it would be a little bit more difficult to tell because those movies tend to lean so heavily on the visual, abstract aspects of things that some of those elements might not necessarily be at the forefront to be under such a big spotlight and thus not have quite as few blemishes stand out. The Harbinger really did kind of suffer from being in such a big spotlight with all the focus placed on its characters, its neighborhood, and its lore. Nevertheless, this does have only an aggregate score of 3.7 on IMDb, and I gotta say, as much as it really didn't land for me, it does deserve higher than that. But I also wanted to highlight this one for the second part of what Catherine wrote in her reasoning. More than that, though, love or hate the movie, the studio deserves to be boosted for the good work they do in outreach for Native Americans. This is one of the other reasons that I kind of wanted to make this review public, was to put a little bit of a spotlight on The Harbinger and on Veteran Films, which is the producer of this movie. I kind of want to just read this blurb that they have on their website here. Veteran Films is a nonprofit production company created to provide jobs for veterans, victims of domestic violence, and Native Americans. Veteran Films takes film's novices and places the above individuals into jobs they can succeed at while learning the film business, and allows the individuals to migrate into other jobs they may find more suitable to their future within the business. Veteran Films' focus is hiring local crew and talent, or those connected in some manner locally. I have the absolute highest amount of respect for that mission. I don't know where Veteran Films lands right now. I can't find a website of theirs, and the only film that I can see that they actually did put a production in place with was The Harbinger. So not a whole lot being said in the last 2-3 years, but I do hope that they continue on. I hope that they have not folded. I hope that more films gets produced with this mission statement involved. And even if Veteran Films is no longer around, which again, hopefully they are, I do hope that that creative model carries forward and that other production companies will kind of run with that baton. The idea of bringing in veterans, victims of domestic violence, and Native Americans into the fold and training folks on a local level, I just think that's fantastic. So on that level alone, I do think that The Harbinger is worth watching. It's not a terrible movie. It's an okay movie, in my opinion. It has okay performance, it has okay writing, it has interesting enough lore, it just lacks polish. So yeah, from an academic standpoint, I think it's worth the watch. I think it's interesting to kind of see and critically review to try and find what those elements of polish could have been to find the good film that is buried underneath. But more than that, this is a movie that deserves to be boosted because this is a production company that deserves to be boosted. So for that reason, I am very, very grateful for Catherine to bring this one to my attention, and I am very happy to put it out in the public eye. If you have not seen 2022's The Harbinger, not that one, this one, then I do recommend checking it out. So, please vote. Happy Halloween. 2022's The Harbinger. Check it out. Take care, everyone. I'll talk to you all soon. Remember, next time you want to watch a horror movie, first make sure that it's good and rotted.